This conference will now be recorded.
Yeah, hi, good morning all. So let's get started now. So today we are repeating the same class which we did yesterday. Okay, so we are going to discuss about the harness. Okay, so far we have worked on only the sections rule from user interface category, right? So we have few other rules like so harness, the paragraph, the portal, etc. Okay, so the section is some portion of the work object form, right? So when you execute a flow, so so here like we can have a section or multiple sections, right? So here we have a section called customer details, and so this is some portion of the work object form, right? So this one is the whole work object form, and so behind this we have a some harness. Okay, the top of the section is called a harness, and top of the harness is a the portal. Okay, so we have logged into the application with admin at the rate of PNC, right? So we see the Designer Studio portal. Okay, so this the whole screen is called a portal. So inside the portal we have a some harness. Okay, so when you log in into the application with the manager, so you will see the manager portal, right?
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah, who is that? Yeah, చెప్పండి. Okay, so look at here. So this is the developer, right? So this is a portal. Okay, so when you open the portal, so inside the portal you will see the harness. Okay, so PZ Studio is a harness. So now, so we can find the rules, by using the live UI. So this is a tool. So we use to, identify user interface rules. So if you put the cursor here, so PZ Studio, so the whole screen is called a harness, right? So inside that also we have, some harnesses available. Okay, so the whole inside the portal we have a harness. So inside the harness we will have some sections, right? So you are seeing some data, that means behind that we have a some section rules available. Okay, so in the high level UI architecture, so you will have a portal. So let's assume that this is a portal. Okay, so inside the portal we have harness, and inside the harness will have some sections. Let's say this is a harness. Okay, so harness process the work object forms. Okay, and so inside the harness we have some sections, so we can put one or more sections. Okay, so inside the sections what we will have usually, so we have the layouts, right? So inside this we'll have some layouts. And inside the layers will have elements like controls, properties, etc. So these are the layouts. So inside the layouts will have mostly the properties, that we call it elements. Okay, so we have a portal. Inside the portal, harness. Inside the harness we have sections. Inside the sections will have layouts. Okay, and inside the layouts will have some elements. Okay, so now let's execute a flow, any flow. And so this is the work object form. So here this is section, right? So this, the whole screen is not a section. Okay, so we created customer details, and which is part of work object form, and some portion of the work object form. And so here, so we have some details, and so behind that we have a some section available. So PY case details, and here so another section. So like this, the work object form is a collection of sections mostly. Okay, so now here, so the PRPC provides the 4 standard harnesses. So one is the new harness. Yeah, so one is new harness, the perform, and the confirm harness, and we have a review. Okay, so first we will look at the new harness here. So if you open the flow, any flow, so we will see the process tab. So we have this checkbox is enabled by default, skip create harness. So create harness is nothing but new harness. Okay, so every time when you execute a flow, the new harness will be executed, but we are skipping here. So that is the reason. So you are able to see work object item is created by default. Okay, so now I'm going to uncheck that checkbox. Okay, and now let's see what will happen. So that means like we are not skipping the new harness, and you will see that. See, you don't see the work item is created now. So whenever you click on this button, it will create the item. It will create the work object. That means, so behind this button, we'll have a logic to create a item. Okay. So whenever you click on the done button, some out of the box rules will be executed. Those will create the work item, and those rules will put work object information into the PY work page. Okay, clear? So now if you want to know what kind of harness it is, just take the live UI and see. So this is the new harness, the whole screen, right? So this is called new harness. So the new harness helps in creating the work item. So you can note that point. Okay. The new harness helps in creating the item, creating the work object or case ID, work object ID or case ID. So when you click on the done, so it will create a work item, and we will see the assignment, right? So this is the first screen of our application. So we have a customer details flow, and this is the first screen, right? And so here also we have some harness that is called perform harness. Okay. So now how can we know what harness is being invoked here? Again, yeah. So we use the live UI to inspect the UI elements. Okay. So let's say, the customer asked you to change something here. So you cannot, by looking at the screen names, we cannot identify. So what section is being invoked exactly, right? So because in the real-time applications, we'll have a lot of sections available, and some will pick from some class and some other rules will pick from, the different class. So through live UI, so you can identify it. So let's say there are some section and some are, withdrawn and some are not available, but those will not be executed here, right? So whatever the rules you see here, that means that is the most appropriate rule executed as part of the flow processing. Okay. So here, so if you click here, it will open the corresponding section. So this is customer details, right? And it is open. Clear? So now we need to identify what harness is being invoked, right? So take the live UI and see. This is perform harness. So if you don't see exactly, so you can click on toggle to see the ancestors, the nearest ancestors, right? So now, so this highlighted, right? This is called perform harness, the whole script. Okay. So we have a perform harness which helps in loading the flow action. Okay. You can note that point. So perform harness helps in loading the flow action. That means, so we are just invoking the flow action in the connectors, and when we execute a flow, we are able to see that corresponding screens, right? Inside the flow action, we have a section and that is getting presented to the users. So behind that, we have a perform harness and which helps in loading the flow action, right? So now, where this perform harness being invoked? If it is the new harness that you see, under the process tab of the flow, and every time when you execute it, it will, open that new harness if skip create harness checkbox is not selected. But here, so you will see the perform harness on each assignment shape. Okay, every assignment shape. So go to the flow and click on assignment, and you see here. Under the assignment details, we have a perform harness, and you can open from here, and this is out of the box, rule. It is available in Workdash and the OOTB, the rules. So if you want to customize, so we need to, open this, if you want to customize this one, so you need to save as into your class and you can modify it. Or if you want to remove some of the rules from here, so you need to open, you need to customize the corresponding rules. Okay. Right. So now we have some case details, and so you see attachment related part. Okay. Here, right? The case details is the section which contains the case information, last updated by created by some of the details. If customer says that I don't want those details, then so you need to identify what section is being invoked, and you can remove it. Let's say, so this is the section called py case details wrapper, right? Okay, and if I don't want this, details in my work object form, so I don't want this part, right? So in that case, what we need to do is, so we need to save as, and this is being invoked in which harness? The perform. So ultimately, this is part of perform harness, right? So what you can do is you save as this into your rule set, okay? And even if you want, you can change the class also, and you remove this, okay? So now we have removed that py case, details wrapper, and so when you execute a flow, you will not see that part, right? So you don't see the case details because we have removed it from the corresponding section, okay? So likewise, so you can customize it. Let's say, if customer asks you to modify, let's say, they want to change this header, right? So you need to identify what section behind this py case header, py something like py case header, right? And so you open this and you can customize this py case header out, okay? So if you want to place somewhere or if you want to modify it, so you can do that, okay? Clear? So now you can discard it. So you need to, know how we use live UI. Simple, like, so you just, click on live UI and you move the cursor towards like this. So if you have in the real-time applications, so you can have multiple sections here, and so you move the cursor and you will see the whole hierarchy, right? So now this is our section. So where, like, first name, last name, all the properties available, and see these elements, right, are available in customer details section. So you can identify like this. So now if you close the customer details, you don't see any properties, right? So that means these properties are part of customer details. So if you expand, then only you see these properties, right? So now, so what is the flow action of this? That is customer details. So let's say, I want to know the, pre-processing, post-processing rules, so that, like, you must need to open the corresponding flow action, okay? And you can open from here. So you cannot, go to the classes and you cannot find it out, right? So this is the hierarchy. And so you can open the flow action, which is being invoked, and you can see the, pre-processing and post-processing rules, etc. Okay? And so here we have a py case action area, you know. So inside that we see our section, right? So that means, so py case action area is the one which loads the flow action. I think yesterday we have saved as, let me remove it. Okay, so here we have a py case action area, so which is also the part of perform harness, and this is the main rule, which loads the section. Okay, right? So py case action area is the one which helps in loading the flow action. So ultimately, so we say that perform harness is responsible for loading, but inside the perform harness, so we have py case action area. So inside the py case action area, we have a flow action HTML simple. So this is the section which actually loads the flow action. Okay. So flow action HTML underscore simple. This is the main rule you need to remember. So if it is not available, here, if you don't use this, you will not see the flow action. So this contains the HTML script and which loads, so whatever the flow action we pass in the connector, that will be passed as a parameter. Okay, and so behind that we have this code and which helps in loading the flow action. So now, so you come to the py case action area and you just do in the pivot edit, you remove the flow action HTML simple and you see whether your section is getting loaded or not, right? The flow action HTML simple, I removed it and I just did in the private edit, and let's see. So what happened? So we are able to see everything. So whatever there in the perform harness except our section, right? So because we do not have a flow action HTML simple, and that is the reason our section is not loading. Okay. So even if we remove the py case action area, you will not see that because inside that only we have flow action HTML simple. Okay. So you need to remember that. And so here we have some buttons available, right? So these are part of some section. So here we have a section called py case action area buttons. Okay, so this is the section which is being used across the application. So and so here we have a lot of buttons, and so all are conditionalized. So when you execute a flow and you are able to see some cancel, save and submit button, and somewhere it is being invoked. So we have a different harnesses related to the screen flows, where we will see the back and next buttons. So those will not be available for perform harness, right? So for perform harness, it will pick somewhere either this layout or this one. Okay, and sometimes let's say I don't want use a py case action area buttons. I want to customize. So in that case, you can use your own buttons. Okay, so when do we customize the buttons is so let us say, so when you click on this, what is happening? So assignment is getting completed, right? So in the button, whenever you click on the button, assignment is getting completed. So there is some action set. So event is clicked. So when you click on button, so assignment is getting completed. So that post processing rules also will be executed and it will open the next screen. So now I don't want to open the complete the assignment. Rather, I want to open some screen. Inside that screen, I will put a button. So when you click on that button, assignment has to be completed. That means, so when I click on the submit button here, I need to see all this information in the read-only format. Okay, so whatever the details I enter here, and I will verify there. And if it is okay, then I click on submit and assignment should be completed. So in that case, if customer asks in that way, you must need to put your buttons rather than using out of the box buttons. So if you use this one, immediately it will be completed, but you need to put some local action on click of button. In the local action, you will put the button which completes the assignment. Okay. So for that, like, either if you want to customize, you can customize this by saving as into your class, or else you can put the buttons in the section, right? So open the flow action. So for customer details, I do not want, out of the box buttons, like, the buttons which are coming from PY case action area buttons. So here in the flow action, so we have a option to hide the default action section buttons, right? So when you enable this, so actually it is in the lower version, so you need to save as, right? So just editing in the private, and so we have enabled the checkbox called hide the default buttons, and you don't see. So you see everything except PY case action area buttons, because we have enabled this option, and so we need to put the buttons in the section, this corresponding section. So take the customer details, and so you take from PY case action area and you modify it like this. Okay, and you can customize. So now I don't want, so I want a different label, so you can put the different label, or like, so first I want the local action to be launched, let's say customer details. And if you want in the read-only format, so you need to design another section and you can make it read-only. And inside this, let's assume that this is a different screen, and inside that screen you can put, button, and on click of that button you can finish assignment, right? So let me see here in the submit button. So we just, specify local action, right? So when you click on the button here, we saved this, and there are some visible conditions, so you can remove that. So in the button, so we have specified local action, so we need to change the label somehow. Okay. So let's you put, your own button, and make it strong. Okay, let's say submit. In the presentation you can, select make it strong, and on click of button, so let's say you want to call some local action, right? Customer details, I want this as a model dialog. So this is some screen, right? Local action means, like, you can put any flow action. So inside that flow action you will have some section, right? So let's assume that you designed a separate section for that, and inside that section you can put some button which actually completes the assignment. So now when you click on submit, so rather than, completing the assignment, you are able to see this screen. So what you can actually do, and again for this flow action, these buttons are getting displayed, so you need to disable. Uh, so you need to handle this part. Okay. And so here, like, so you can make this information read only. Okay, so you can create a separate section and you can make that information read only. Properties you will use the same, but the different screen which should be in the read only format. Okay, and when you click on that button, let's say this is the customized button, because this is also we are using the same flow action, and again we invoke, so the same button, right? Okay, so actually you cannot open another model dialog when uh, so when a model dialog is open, so you cannot launch another model dialog, right? So this actually this should complete the assignment. Okay, understand, right, online guys? So if you want to customize out of the box buttons, you can put in your screen and you can customize it accordingly. Okay, so now let's go to the flow action. And let's remove this. Now you don't see that. Okay, so when you execute a flow, you will see out of the box button. So you just need to know that, like, so if you want to the disable out of the box buttons, we need to enable the option. So we need to select the option in the flow action so that you can ignore out of the box buttons. Okay, so now, so when you click on submit, it will be completed. So now here, if you look at the flow, the customer details, so here if an assignment is not being performed, so this is the confirm honest. Okay, confirm honest will be displayed. Okay, so here we have only one assignment which is completed. Let me submit this. Okay, let's execute again. So we have only one assignment, and so which is completed. If there are no assignments to be performed, the confirm honest will be displayed. Okay, so take the live UI and move the cursor and you will find that. So this is confirm honest. You will see somewhere, right? So this part highlighted one is a confirm honest. So the work object information will be displayed in the confirmation format. Okay, so this is like read only data, but so you see the assignment information, like if you entered some first name last name, and you will see those information here. Okay, so if there are no assignments being performed, the confirmation screen will be displayed, and if you want to customize this, you need to customize the confirm honest. So open the these details and you will find whatever the sections available here, so you can identify. So this is case details and this is so everything is some section. Okay, identify the section and you customize it. And so we have a one more harness that is called the review harness. Okay, so what is the confirm harness? If there are no assignments being performed, the confirm harness will be displayed, means executed. Or if there are no assignments to be performed, the confirm harness will be displayed. Okay, so that's what we have seen, right? So that is invoked in the flow. Okay, and so we have a review harness, and we don't see as part of the work object, in the flow, but every time. So when you create any harness with the read-only format, so that will become a review harness. Okay, so I want to put, I want to call the harness on click of some button. You can do that. So let's take customer details section. In some cases, like what we do is, so on click of button, so we launch the harness, and inside that harness we will put the sections. Okay, and so we can make that read only. Let's use some layout. So let's assume that, so we have lot of sections, and when click on button, I need to show some information in the read only format. Okay, so here we can call on click of button. So whenever you click on the button, so you can launch some harness. Right? And you can create a harness, from user interface category. So like this, and you can call that, or you can directly create from here. Let's say work object details. Okay, so same harness you can create from user interface category. Right click on user interface harness. Okay, and so by default you see there's some screen layout, so we don't use that mostly. And so we have a container. So by default you will see some container, and with you can call multiple containers like this, and inside the containers, so we call the sections. So drag it and call it. So you can call multiple sections like this. Okay, so you can actually define design separate section, and where you put all the properties which you want to show on click of button, and that you can call in the harness, and you can call that harness here. Okay, and so how we want display that harness? So pop-up window, it's like a model dialog. Replace current, the current screen will be replaced the new document, so it will open in the new window. Okay, and read only, so if it is yes, you will see in the read only format. You don't make it read only. So if you use any section, or any section, that data will be available in the read only format by default. If you make it no, so that will be editable. Okay, and you can call, these are all optional, and you can call some data transformer activity on click of button, so those rules also will be executed. Okay, sometimes in the interviews they will ask, so can we invoke harness inside the section? No, but we can call through controls. Okay, any questions so far? So these are about harness. So mostly in the user interface rules, right? So we just customize based on the requirement. So we need to identify the rules through live UI, and we customize those rules by saving into your class, and those will be invoked. So we have a harness in the workdash class and our class, so our class will have a more priority. Or so we have in the OOTP rule sets in our rule set, so our rule sets will have more priority. Okay, and we'll work on paragraph later. So just like to put some static data, let's say, so you are filling some application where you want you know uh, see all the terms and the conditions, and in below you will see some checkbox like so for agree, right? So for those kind of things, like if you want to put more data, the static data, we use paragraph, and we can call anywhere like in the section, in the correspondence rules, like that. It looks like correspondence, right? So you can put all the static data here, and if you want to pass, you can pass some of the properties dynamically, or you want to, you can call a section, and you can change the font size, color, everything. Okay. So now we are going to work on the flows. Hmm? Declaration messages, rules. So we worked on declarative rules, right, already. And we need to work on declared expression, that will be covered later. Okay. So now we are going to, look at flows. So the flow which creates the work item, usually, we call it a process flow, or we call it, starter flow also sometimes. Okay. So we created, three different flows like, auto loan, home loan, and customer details. So whenever you execute those flows which creates the work item, so these are called the process flows, or we call it, starter flows. And so if you want to call, so one flow in another flow, we call it, sub process shape. So let's say we have a flow, so we call, approval process in the home loan, right? So here home loan is a main flow, and approval process flow is a sub flow. So if you invoke a flow in another flow, the invoked flow becomes a sub flow. Okay. And so we have a straight through flow. If there are no assignments, defined in the flow, that flow is called a STP, straight through flow, straight through process flow. Okay, you can refer all those things in the documents, but like if there are no assignments defined in the flow, that becomes a straight through process. Like let's say you created a flow with only one utility shape, that is automated process, right? So which doesn't require any human intervention. Okay, so those flow we call it straight through process flows. Okay. And so mainly we have a flow called process flow, sorry, screen flow. Okay. So if you look at auto loan or home loan, so we have multiple assignments, right? So we have borrower details, one assignment, we have a loan details, auto loan details, assets and liabilities, etc. So if you think from, the real time perspective, so it is not like that, one operator is going to perform, borrower details, and some other operator is perform, loan details, like that. So these all the screens are going to be performed by single operator only most of the times, right? So you don't make them as a separate assignments. So when we make a, as a separate assignment, let's say I want this assignment to be performed by some operator, or some group of operators. So in that case, we can make as a single assignment. Okay. But here, so if you look at home loan or auto loan, so we don't need to maintain as a separate assignment each screen. Let me refresh it. Let me open the home loan. Okay, 1 second. So what we can do here is, so we can take all the assignments and we can make as a single assignment. So where like, currently, so let's say you have submitted borrower details and we cannot come back to, borrower details and we cannot modify it, right? So in the screen flows, you will have that flexibility, like, you can perform the multiple screens at a time. So, you enter some borrower details and you directly go to the assets and liabilities and you enter, those details and you again come back to the loan details and you can enter. Okay. So you can perform the screens by moving forth and back. Okay. And that is not possible in the normal flow, in the process flow, right? So this is the first screen, borrower details. And when you click on this and you will see the second screen and you cannot, so come back to the previous screen and you cannot, change the details. So if you have an assignment, that means like, we can route borrower details to some operator, loan details to some other operators, etc. But in the real time, so, all these details are going to be performed by only one operator. But in the approval process, we have two assignment and one assignment we are routing to manager and another assignment routing to loan officer. That makes sense. But here, so we don't need to, maintain separate assignments. Okay. So we can build a screen flow and you can put all the assignments in that. And all these assignments will be treated as a single assignment only. Okay. And you can perform all these screens at a time by moving forth and back. Okay. So what we do here is, so we'll create a screen flow where we put all the assignments and we remove the assignments from the home loan and we call that screen flow. Okay. Clear? So you need to understand that. So let's create a screen flow and let's assume that we are putting this for only home loan. So you can create in the home loan class. Okay. So create a screen flow, go to the process. So flow is part of process category. So while creating the screen flow, so here we have, the view additional configuration options button. You need to click on that and you need to select the standard template for screen flows. So BPM, the first one is nothing but normal flow. So standard template for screen flows. And this is home loan screen flow, right? So you must need to select standard template for screen flows and create and close and create and open. So you can create and open. right? So if it is assignment, you will be able to call the flow action in the connector, right? Yes or no? Yeah. So when you click on connector, you will be able to call the flow action. But here we do not have that option, because though it looks like an assignment, it is not truly assignment in the screen flow, right? So here I'm going to invoke borrower details, and we can call the flow action on assignment shape itself, right? So you click on assignment shape and click borrower details. Okay, so this is the first screen. So now add one more assignment, and we cannot route this assignment to some operator, this assignment to some operator like that, because it is a screen flow. We can only route entire screen flow to the either work list or work basket. Okay, that's the advantage of this, so here user can operate multiple screens at a time by moving forth and back. Okay, so now call collect loan details, then add one more assignment. Likewise, you can put all the assignments which are required for home loan. Then add one more assignment, and we call, let's say, collect loan documents, and you can call assets and liabilities also. Okay, so this is the screen flow. Align horizontally. So if you look at start shape of the flow, okay, and you see the routing option, right? Okay, so that means like here you can put the routing, and the whole screen flow will be routed to the single operator or work basket, where the operator will be able to perform all the assignments. Okay, so now let's invoke this screen flow in the home loan. So what we do is, instead of removing, so go to the process, home loan, so what we can do is, so we will save as, so either we can save as into highest version, like you create 04, and in the 04 you remove all these assignments and you put that. So in the 03 still remains, you see all the assignments, and you can refer that later if you want. So here what I'm doing is I'm going to create save as with a different name, let's say home loan process. Okay, so you don't need to create a separate flow, so you can save as it into highest version, and you can remove those assignments and you call the screen flow. So now here I'm removing all the assignments. So here we cannot remove all at a time. So now, so if you want to call another flow, what kind of shape we need to use here? Sub process, right? So take the sub process and invoke the process screen flow, right? So here the filter flow by process flow or screen flow. Process flow is like another flow. So where so we selected this option to invoke approval process. So since we are invoking screen flow, we need to select that option and call that. Okay. So now here we invoke the screen flow and this is approval process. So now let's execute it. So do you see any difference between normal flow and this flow? Do you see any difference? So if it is the process flow, you will not be able to see how many assignments are there to be performed. It's like screens. And once you complete borrower details, you will not again come back to the same screen. But here you will have that flexibility. Directly go to the loan documents, upload the documents and click on finish. But when you click on finish, okay, if there are any errors, those will be displayed. You will not be able to submit. But here it is allowing, right? Because in the screen flow, if you click on the start step of this, click on save on last step. Okay. So by default, like it has to yeah, it is throwing some. Okay. So when you perform this assignment, like yeah, so now it is showing, but like still you will be able to finish it, right? So this should not be the case. You need to rectify all these errors. So now in the screen flow, let's select this option, the save on last step, and let's see what will happen. Now see here. So we must need to enter like again. I think this is the behavior of that. So it should not actually, it should not allow. So okay, we'll discuss that. So in another, we have again different screen flows available. So we'll look at each screen flow, and here the save on last step option, right? So usually, so when you perform the screens, those data will be saved, by default, into the database. Let's say you perform the first screen and you move to the second screen, and the first screen information will be saved into the database immediately. But I don't want that. Save on last step. So when you select that, the data will be saved at only when you click on finish button in the last screen, and allow errors. If there are any errors, it will allow you to save. So now see, so earlier, like, so while executing, like, so if there are any mandatory fields, it was not allowing, right? So now, so we have a mandatory field here. So without entering that also, will be able to move from one screen to another screen. Okay, but here in the last screen, it should list out all the errors, but it is not happening. But in another type of screen flows, it does actually. Okay, but when you perform the screens, but like if you make it mandatory, so we just putting the validations, and those validations are not executing here. Okay, means like, so when you click on here directly, it will be skipped and it will come here. Okay, so for that, like, we need to enable some options. But if you make it mandatory, you must need to enter. Let's say go to the loan details, and if you click on continue, it will throw an error. If this option is not selected. Okay, allow errors. If you select allow errors, if there are some errors available, though it will allow you to move to the next screen. Right? So like again, if you execute, you will understand that. So here we have some mandatory, and so you are not able to move to the next screen. Okay, if you select allow errors, then you will be able to submit it. Right? So this is some kind of screen flow, and this is called the tabbed screen flow. So if you look at start shape of the screen flow, this is the tabbed screen flow. And so we have three types of screen flows available. One is tabbed screen flow, another is tree navigation, so where you will see the screens in the tree format, and we have perform screen flow. Okay, so we have three types of screen flows available. So by default, you see the tabbed screen flow, and so I'm going to change it from tree navigation 7 and see. Just appearance will be changed. See now here, so here you will see list of screens, and you can go to the loan details, and you can perform like this. But here is, since we are not allowing errors, so we must need to enter the value in order to go to the next screen. But here, again, we can come back to the previous screen and we can perform it. So this is tree navigation. And go to the loan documents and click on finish. But we have, the OBJ validate rules, and those are not executing it, right? But until unless when you click on that, So this is the default behavior actually. So in the first screen, when you click on continue, so validation rules will be executed and you must need to enter it. But you can directly skip to the loan details like this. But if you want to change that behavior, so only allow navigating back to this step. And perform post processing, like by default the post processing rules will not be executed. If we enable this, the post processing rules will be executed, and if this is checked, the link will be enabled only if the step has been completed. So let's say I'm going to select only allow navigating back to this step in the second assignment, and let's see. So you cannot directly go to the second screen, you must need to perform the first screen, right? So similarly, in the tree navigation, I'm going to select only allow navigating back to this tab and see. So you need to change the options like that, and you need to execute and see the behavior. So now you cannot directly move to the any of these screens. Like once you complete the content first screen, then only you will be able to come back to the previous screen, right? So if there are any errors available, you must need to so you must need to enter the valid data, otherwise it will not allow you to move to the next screen. Clear? So by default it is allowing, but we need to select this option for all. So now you cannot go to the home loan, but you can come back to the borrower details because you've already completed the borrower details. Okay, so this is the behavior of the screen flow, tree navigation. And by default you don't see these options. So when you click on only allow navigating back to this step, so you can only come back to the step but not move directly. Okay, and perform post processing, enable post processing or validation when navigating back from this assignment. Okay, so you can select this to execute the post processing rules. Okay, and so we have one more harness, that is perform screen flow. It looks like normal flow, but there will be some little difference. It looks like normal, right? But here the thing is like so you can come back to the previous screen. It looks like normal process flow, right? This is perform screen flow. So we are in second screen and we are able to come back to the previous screen. If it is a normal flow, if it is the perform harness, you will not see the back button. So these buttons are coming from which section? PY, case action area buttons, and those are conditionalized. If the harness is screen flow, right? This is perform screen flow, and instead of cancel, you will see the back. So this is handled in the PY case action area. Okay, it looks like the process flow, but you will see the back button. So you can come back to the previous screen and again but you cannot see how many screens are there to be performed. Clear? So these are about screen flows. The PDN, so we have a article about this, so you can refer that, and like you can explore more things. We'll have a lot of theoretical information about that screen flows. Okay, and so you need to remember these types of screen flows and options available here. So what happens when you select this checkbox, and what happens when you enable this perform post processing, and about this, these are very important for interviews. So what happens when you click on save on last step, right? So by default, as you perform the screens, the data gets committed to the database. But when you click on save on last step, the data will be saved when you click on finish button. Okay, these are very important for interviews. So you can try that. So you enter, you create a work item and you see, you enter, borrower details and go to the database and see whether this information is getting stored or not. And you click on, you submit the final button and see whether the data is inserting or not. So in that way, like, you can understand. Okay. So that's it for today. We'll continue tomorrow. So we'll work on different topic. Okay. Thank you.
Submit to finish.